They tell tales of me, don't they? Of the monster, the Gorgon with snakes for hair and a gaze that turns flesh to stone. They speak of my demise, a hero's triumph over evil, but no one ever speaks of my beginning. No one speaks of the priestess, the girl who once served a goddess with unwavering devotion. No one speaks of Medusa before the curse.
My life began not in darkness, but in light. I was born mortal, a woman of striking, if ordinary beauty. My hair, long and flowing, was my pride, as black and lustrous as a moonless night. My heart, pure and earnest, beat only for Athena, the wise and formidable goddess of war and wisdom. I was chosen, blessed even, to be one of her priestesses. My days were spent within the sacred walls of her temple, tending to her altars, reciting her hymns, and dedicating my very being to her service.
The temple was my sanctuary, a place of peace and sacred duty. I believed in Athena's justice, in her wisdom, in the sanctuary she offered. I believed I was safe, protected by my piety and the goddess's favor. Foolish, wasn't I? To think that even within the most sacred of places, evil could not reach.
He came as nightmares often do, unbidden and unwelcome. Poseidon, the earth-shaker, lord of the seas. He was a god, yes, but devoid of honor, driven by base desire. He sought me out, not for worship, but for conquest. And despite my pleas, my desperate cries to my beloved Athena, he took what he wanted. It happened within the very walls consecrated to Athena, beneath the watchful, unseeing eyes of her statues. My screams echoed, unheard by any who could intervene. The sacred space, once a haven, became the site of my ultimate defilement.
I lay there, broken, defiled, my spirit shattered, my faith tested to its very core. I looked to Athena, desperate for retribution, for justice, for anything to mend the gaping wound in my soul.
And justice came, but not as I had envisioned, not for me, but against me. Athena, in her infinite wisdom and cold fury, could not tolerate the desecration of her temple, but her wrath was not directed solely at the one who committed the heinous act. No, it was directed at me, the victim, the one whose presence, whose defilement had sullied her sacred ground. Her voice, when it came, was like ice. You, Medusa, whose beauty lured such sacrilege, you shall tempt no more. Your gaze, once admired, shall now be a weapon. Your hair, once your pride, shall become a testament to your disgrace. And then the agony, a searing pain ripped through my scalp as my hair writhed, transformed into hissing, venomous serpents. My skin hardened, scales began to form. My eyes, once soft and brown, burned with an unholy light, a power I did not ask for, a curse I would forever carry. Every reflection I saw became a grotesque distortion of the woman I once was. My beauty, my essence, was stripped away, replaced by the visage of a monster. I, Medusa, the devoted priestess, became the Gorgon.
Cast out from the temple, from the world of mortals, I fled.
Where could I go? My very existence was a threat. One look, and those
Once knew, those I might have loved would turn to lifeless stone. The fear in their eyes, the terror as they stiffened and shattered, it was a torment far worse than any physical pain. I sought refuge in the desolate caves on the island of Sarpedon, far from the world that had betrayed me. My sisters, Euryale and Steno, the other Gorgons, were there, born of the same ancient, monstrous lineage, but their companionship offered little solace. My solitude was absolute. My heart hardened, not out of malice, but out of a profound, unending grief.
Every hiss of a serpent on my head was a reminder of what I had lost, of what had been stolen from me, and of the cruel, undeniable injustice.
They called me a monster. They sought to slay me, to claim glory from my death. But they never sought to understand the woman beneath. The scales, the broken priestess within the cursed gaze. They never asked, where did it all begin for her?